Fresh off the press, it seems like Kawak Aviation has filed and secured pad protection on its new firefighting bucket. We're going to take a look all at the article here in a second, read through the article. I do have this video put up first so that we can get an idea of what it is that they've created. For those of you who don't know, I am Dave, a 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from trademarks, trade secrets, copyrights, as well as my bread and butter, patents. Now, as I was kind of thinking about this video, man, it's almost kind of surprising that we've came all this advancements with technology. We're using ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, and up until this point in time, we're still putting out fires using buckets, helicopters with a bucket attached to it and dumping, liquid or some type of a retardant on an actual fire. A lot of times, unfortunately, on the West Coast in California. But it seems like we have this new revolutionary generation of firefighting buckets by Kawak Aviation. Let's take a look at here really quickly what they have going on. I muted the sound so I don't get a copyright strike. Let's see what they have going on, and then we'll come back and I will we'll go through the article here. And then we actually go through the patent because I do want to take a look at the patent on this one. Let's go. That's the bucket there that they're going to tie to that helicopter. There you go. Like I said, I muted the sound. You see the bucket down there in green. That's releasing the liquid on those trees, on that forestry area. It looked like the fire done wiped everything out already. There's another view of it. Like I said, I muted the sound just so I don't get hit with a copyright strike. So that's pretty much it. So let me kind of pull up the article here really quickly so that we can take a quick look through it. It's a short article, and then we'll pull up the patent. I actually want to go through the claims to what it is that they have protected. You'll be surprised at what they have protected. It's a pretty broad claim, in my opinion, which is good for Kawak Aviation. Here's the article here. Kawak Aviation secures U.S. patent for revolutionary cascade aerial firefighting bucket. Again, let me know kind of your thoughts on this as we get through it. Let me blow up the screen. There you go. So this came out this month, June 2025. Kawak Aviation, a leader in mission critical utility aviation solutions, announced today that the USPTO has officially issued their patent. Again, we'll take a look at the patent here in a second. On their groundbreaking cascade aerial firefighting bucket. Like I said, it's still crazy that we're putting out fires using buckets, but it seems like Kawak Aviation has a souped up bucket, not just any ordinary bucket, but theirs is a revolutionary bucket. Cascade bucket represents a significant leap forward in aerial firefighting capabilities. Engineered for precision, reliability, and multi-drop functionality, the system allows operators to release water and control segments during flight, providing tactical flexibility that conventional buckets can't match. Like I said before, the fact that we're still putting out fires using buckets when we have all this ChatGPT and artificial intelligence and all this other stuff is mind-boggling, but I guess some stuff moves slower than others. This patent marks a pivotal moment of Kawak and Cascade program, said the chief design officer. It's the result of years of problem-solving, testing, and close collaboration with operations in the field. More importantly, it secures the IP. Again, we always go say, protect that intellectual property. It secures the IP behind a product we believe will help reshape how aerial firefighting missions are executed. The patent is the first of two filings, so it seems like they have a couple different filings. I would imagine that the second one is kind of based on a method. And the one we're going to look at today, is based on an apparatus. Together, these filings will provide a robust IP protection at Kawak as Kawak continues to expand its footprint in global firefighter markets. Again, that's the crazy thing too. You can literally build, well, I'll finish this and I'll give you that thought. With over 30 years of experience in the utility aviation industry, Kawak continues to pioneer specialized systems for aerial firefighting, agricultural, aircraft, engine control, cargo conversion, and electric motor applications. And as I kind of bring it back on me since we're done with the article, it's crazy how you can really kind of build a moat or build a moat and go into a space with the securement of patents. And this seems like this is what Kawak Aviation did, as they talked about, hey, they are going to expand its footprint in global firefightings based on these patents, one of which has been secured. So let me kind of stop sharing this, and we're going to take a look at the patent, or at least the claim. And kind of most of my day-to-day is kind of dealing with claims and going through them, and I think this would be a good exercise. Let me see here, man. Is this the one? Man, no, entire screen. Okay, let me go to the entire screen. Here we go. Here we go, man. Let me know what you guys think about this. This is the patent. So the left is the drawings of the patent. I have figure 1 pulled up, and the right is the claim. So for those of you who kind of went through this exercise with me before, we all know that claims are typically have, at least in the US, you're allowed 20 claims and 3 independent claims. Again, the independent claims is a standalone claim, and the dependent claims depend from the independent claim. So as you will see here, claim 1 is an aerial firefighting bucket system. That's an independent claim. You look at all the dependent claims. It depends off claim 1. So you see that bucket system of claim 1, the bucket system of claim 2, so forth and so on. I'm actually curious, see what happened with the 20 claims. It seems like they amended one of the dependent claims up to the independent claim. I'm also curious why they only went after 1 independent claim. Typically, you will see at least 2. Again, you're allowed up to 3 independent claims. You will see at least 2 independent claims typically. I'm surprised that they had 1 independent claim and 20 dependent claims. 19 dependent claims. But we'll go through the independent claim, which is typically your broadest claim. And again, it's a standalone claim. And we will kind of match up the different items or features based on the figure 1. So you have a bucket configured to be filled with a liquid cargo to discharge the liquid cargo. So this is your bucket here. So reference number 14 is pointed to this bucket. Then you have a rigging attached to the bucket and configured to be attached to the long line of aircraft. So the rigging is essentially these cords that's represented by 12A. So that's the cords that are attached to the bucket, then attached to this line A, which is ultimately secured to the cargo. What else do you have? Where in the bucket includes a pliable skin having an upper edge and a lower edge. So this is the skin that has this upper edge right here, as well as this lower edge down there. And then you have a generally circular upper frame. This is that circular upper frame that's shown by 22 here. That generally circular upper frame, from which the upper edge of the skin is suspended by a plurality of loops. So the loops are 34. That's essentially suspending this upper edge of the bucket from the upper frame. What else do we have here? The upper edge being spaced from the upper frame, and the loops providing a sliding connection to the upper frame that allows the skin to slide along the circumference of the generally circular upper frame in response to forces applied to the bucket. So again, this is a fancy way of saying, hey, this upper portion of the bucket is attached to the frame by these loops 34, such that when a force is applied to this bucket, the bucket can slide along that upper frame. I would imagine that is sliding essentially along that upper frame if needs to, based on a force. And then the last feature is a lower structure to which the lower edge of the skin is attached in a sealed manner. So essentially it's saying, hey, you have this lower structure, what I'm imagining is 16. You have the lower portion of that bucket or of the skin, I'm assuming it's 28, that is secured to that lower structure in a sealable manner. And I would imagine that makes sense, right? Because you have that liquid cargo that's in here. You don't want that liquid cargo to spill out through the bottom. So that lower portion of the skin is secured to that lower structure in a sealable manner, such that the liquid doesn't spill out. That's a pretty broad claim, if I had to be honest with you. So kudos to Kawak and their attorney for getting this allowed. The only thing that's a difference between this and a regular bucket, at least in my opinion, based on what I know, is the fact that this skin is pliable. The fact that that skin is pliable as opposed to a hard, rigid bucket, to me, that's almost the biggest difference, if I had to guess. So again, shouts out to the attorney at Kawak Aviation. It seems like they got a pretty broad claim. So that's some good stuff there. Let me know, audience, if you kind of followed me through this thing. Let me know if you was able to kind of better understand claims, patent claims, what's being claimed, how to read a claim in light of the drawings. Again, I not only want to kind of inform you guys, but I do want to educate you guys in this particular video on reading a claim set of a patent. Shout out to Kawak Aviation for, again, number one, protecting their intellectual property, but then number two, shout out them for getting a pretty broad claim, to say the least, on their souped up firefighting bucket. Be on the lookout for those during your next firefighting. Like I said, unfortunately, these fires are typically out west in California. So hopefully, you may see one of these aerial buckets being used during the next fire. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. Again, to the extent that you have some questions on, or you want to come out with a product and protect it, go check out the ebook Got IP. That link is in the description, where I give you a step-by-step guide of how do you come up with an idea for your product, all the way to monetizing that product in every step in the process. And obviously, a big portion of that is protecting your intellectual property, whether it's trademarks, whether it's patents, whether it's copyrights, whether it's trade secrets. So go check out that ebook in the description. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.